There's a lot of interesting characters in the Mario universe, and Princess Peach is not really one of them. Heck, she's not even the most beloved princess. She's only really known for getting captured and cake sometimes, I guess. So it isn't really a surprise that the amount of games featuring Princess Peach as the main character is small. But hey, things seem to be changing, which is pretty nice to see. So to celebrate this, I wanted to check out some games featuring our third favorite princess. Now, like I said earlier, apart from the new Princess Peach project that, at the time of this video, there's no information on, apart from the fact that it exists, there's only been one officially released Princess Peach game from Nintendo. But that'd make for a pretty short video. So we're gonna try to expand our horizons and check out a ton of different Princess Peach games. Be it ROM hacks, fan games, flash games, you name it. So, I hope you can join me as we go through the fantastic world of Princess Peach games. You know what else is fantastic? Today's fantastic sponsor, Factor. A while back I partnered with HelloFresh, but did you know Factor is now owned by HelloFresh? Factor is great. They deliver fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved meals straight to your doorstep. I personally don't cook often. I'm bad at it and I often mess up sandwiches, but sometimes I want to eat a healthy meal. Factor makes it easy by simply popping that bad boy in the microwave for 2 minutes. No chopping, prepping, or cleanup required. You can select from a whopping 35 plus weekly delicious meals, so there's something for everyone to enjoy. Seriously, there's tons of options here. Dietitian approved calorie smart meals. If you're looking to hunt down a saber-toothed tiger later, you got the protein plus option. And if you want to level up a little bit, you got the gourmet plus options. There's so much variety. If it wasn't for Factor, I'd never be eating food like this. I'd be chewing on ice for dinner. I got this jalapeno lime cheddar chicken with some cilantro cauliflower rice, and oh, it's easily the tastiest thing I've ever took part in making. These meals have genuinely made my diet infinitely better, having more energy throughout the day. And with how easy they are to cook, it's a no-brainer for me. So if you're interested, head to factor75.com or click that link down below and use my code WAFFLE50 for 50% off your first order. Your tummy will thank you. Peach's Adventure. Now you might look at this title screen and think, who's this thick mama? Well, this is Princess Peach. Yeah, a bit of a reimagining, if you will. Your first question will naturally be, why? And, I don't know. The creator of this ROM hack, BWG Lite, clearly just has taste. And not just in their character design, because when you download this ROM hack, it also comes with a bunch of free goodies, including both Super Nintendo and Super Famicom box art. I don't think this game has a physical release, but just seeing these cute little pieces of art really makes me want to buy one. And we're not done yet. Also included with the game is a free digital instruction booklet, like one that would come with an actual Super Nintendo game. And it's a legit manual, multiple pages filled with the game's story, cute pieces of art, controls on how to play Super Mario World in case you've never done that. There's so much charm in this thing. There's also some new and unique power-ups that you can read up on beforehand. They even include in-game screenshots that look like the pictures were taken directly from an old CRT television. It looks grainy and crappy, I love that. And just like Billy Mays, I'm not done yet! Because they were kind enough to include sticker and coloring book pages that you can print out at home to play with. If you have a kid, they would love this. And I know this is starting to sound like it was sponsored, but it's not. I just really love all these cool things. You know what? Release all this physically. I'm no longer asking. You smell that? It smells like sitting in the backseat of a car on the ride home reading the box art of a new game. Now, I have played this game in the past, but at the time it was only a demo and I only played like a handful of levels. Never really sat down to give it a fair shot. So, what's the story here? Princess Peach gets woken up in the middle of a field by Toad. He informs her that Mario and Luigi were abducted by Bowser and she's gotta save them. Pretty simple. So, Peach embarks on her adventure to save the bros. She starts off by looking for clues. We have a little tutorial stage which gives us some time to get used to the controls. We eventually stumble upon the Mario Brothers house, in case you didn't know, where we find out it was ransacked by Bowser, and Mario and Luigi were just actually abducted from their homes, accompanied with a really charming cutscene image. Again, just another piece of charming detail that makes this game feel like a passion project. I like their house, I would home invade them too. Also, I never understood this. The Mario Bros are well-known heroes with enemies. Why would you advertise where you live? It's like when the Avengers live in the tallest building in the city with their logo plastered all over it. Yeah, of course you're an easy target now. The overall feel of the game is pretty unchanged. It's Super Mario World. Just like most Mario games, the first world plays everything fairly safe and sanitized. Pretty overworld, the underground and underwater level, another overworld stage, but this time with a pretty sunset, Hydro City. Wait. Okay, never mind, this game shut me up. Yeah, what's really cool is that some stages have multiple exits. That's nothing new. But most of the time when you find a secret exit, it leads to a cool Sonic stage reimagined for a Mario game. It really does feel like a bonus worth looking for, because even if you find the secret exit and play the bonus stage, beating it will still make you progress. You don't have to go back to the previous level and find the main exit to move on, like you would in Mario World. Meaning either way you get to move forward with the game, but exploring just a little bit will reward the player. Unless you hate Sonic. Or pronounce it Hydrocity. Thanks, Nick. World 2 has a very strong fallen civilization theme. You traverse through a lot of broken pillars and forgotten cities. It's really cool. Also, Peach gets a Tanuki suit and becomes a furry. I know thousands of people are very happy about that. Every world is honestly loaded with charm. World 3 is your typical snow level, nothing too crazy in theory, but this world is loaded with cute features. First of all, the enemies are wearing beanies or covered in snow. It's adorable. Why do I want to hurt this chilly little guy? Get him a blanket! We also get introduced to the ice power-up. It works like you'd expect. Hit an enemy with it and turn them into a block of ice. This is personally the first time I've seen it though in a Mario World ROM hack. Level 5 in the ice world takes us to the rickety old mine, which is apparently very dangerous, and if we have any complaints, we can take it up with the manager, Wario. The level itself is just minecart carnage from Donkey Kong Country. I love that also. I find it really charming that the creator of this hack just put levels he liked in other games here. Yeah, Sonic, I like Sonic. Donkey Kong Country, why not? We'll make it work. When you make it out of the mine, you'll run into Wario. Okay, why not? Peach got a makeover. Why is Wario exempt? I also got the hammer power up, and Peach turns into Buttercup. Just felt like I needed to point that out. Now, one of my favorite worlds in a Mario game to this day is World 4 from Super Mario Bros. 3. It's the one where everything is giant. It's just so charming, and to this day has gone undefeated as one of my most beloved worlds. However, Peach's Adventure has managed to top it. World 4 in this game is Yoshi's Cookie themed, meaning everything is based around some kind of food. The backgrounds and patterns of some stages look exactly like the puzzle game, with platforms being replaced with cookies. Levels no longer have water, but instead milk, and the barriers are made to look like Cheerios. There's a level with these floating grills that are an insta-kill if you touch them, and instead gotta jump on these hot dogs. And probably my favorite of this world, surprisingly, is an underwater stage. You start off by jumping on cola and Pepsi, only to then find a giant bottle of soda, break the blocks to reenact opening up the bottle, go inside said bottle, and now you're swimming in a sea of cola. It's nothing too crazy, it's just brown water, but it's the little things that really build up the world in a Mario game. The game's constantly throwing I know this man. Yep, that is the Sonic the Hedgehog talking to the Princess Peach. Oh, and then we get to play in Green Hill Zone. Now, I don't want to go into every single little detail in this game because I do want you to experience it yourself. The last thing I will mention though is World 6, when we're now in a polluted and dirty factory setting. Once again, very similar to Donkey Kong Country, where you randomly end up far away from the cute and colorful nature levels to big corporations and pollutions. And just like in DKC, it's a big mood shift. You feel sad like you're not supposed to be here. Maybe I should recycle more. Peach's adventure is just filled to the brim before you even start the game. Every world has a theme, and it's a nice breakaway from the traditional Mario formula. You know, where World 2 is always the desert, World 3 is underwater. We've been doing this for years. Finally, there's a soda level, with each separate stage standing out from one another. The bosses are unique and challenging, the world building is a nice inclusion, complete with NPCs and cutscenes. And once again, thick mama Princess Peach. You know what? I would like to come over for some of that cake, you feel me? Okay, moving on. Play the game. Alright, Streets of Rage 2 Peach DX. So in this game, Princess Peach is the queen of street fighting where everyone fears her. That is until the big bad Bowser and his gang take over and you gotta fight for supremacy. So yeah, the game is a mod of Streets of Rage 2 on Sega Genesis. You can either play as Princess Peach or Princess... Roll. Okay, so yeah, the game is just Streets of Rage 2 but with a Mario skin. Peach goes around the city beating up the Foot Clan from the Ninja Turtles, random women, and you know that. What is this? Is this just a Goomba head planted on a muscular human body? They also do it with the Koopa, but that one's much more noticeable because they don't even try to match the skin colors. The game overall though is a fairly solid beat 'em up, despite some of Peach's more questionable animations. You know, despite being a silly concept having Princess Peach exist in the Streets of Rage world, it kinda works, because the first thing I immediately thought of was, oh my goodness, this is literally Super Mario Bros. The 90s movie, the game. Yeah, think about it. The movie takes place in a seedy downtown setting, there's lewd women and Goombas with tiny heads on giant bodies. This is the unofficial game for the movie. That's all I gotta say about that. Okay, while technically not Princess Peach, when am I ever going to talk about this game? Super Bowsette, a very simple fan game that came out during the 2 or 3 weeks Bowsette was taking over the internet. If you don't know who Bowsette is, then consider yourself lucky. She actually created the 34th rule, so if you're curious about her, go to Google and look up Bowsette Rule 34. The game itself is a very basic platformer. Jump on enemies, shoot fireballs, and platform. The game plays with a keyboard, which I usually hate in platformers, but Bowsette has the float ability similar to Princess Peach, and this one actually lasts a pretty long time, allowing you to make a jump and have time to correct yourself for more precise platforming. A design choice that really helps the player since, again, platforming with the keyboard is garbage. There's only like 4 levels in this game since it's just a beta, but I don't think there'll ever be a full release, considering Bowsette was just a little phase that the internet would most likely rather forget. Still a good and simple fan game though. But hey, we did get a cool song like 4 years later. I'm sorry, but she's in another castle, and she won't even get for you I fear. But now let's move on to the game you probably came here for. Released on the Nintendo DS in North America on February 27th, 2006. Really? 2006? God, I honestly forget how old the DS is sometimes. Super Princess Peach is the first mainline Nintendo game starring Princess Peach as the main playable character. The story of the game is admittedly a little weird. So Bowser and his army invade Vibe Island to retrieve a magical weapon known as the Vibe Scepter. Yeah, presumably the same one Peach was hiding in Super Mario RPG. It's a very expensive Vibe Scepter. It's pretty vague as to what it can do, but I guess everyone wants it. And in a twist of events, Mario and Luigi were actually captured by Bowser's army. So it's up to Princess Peach and her magic talking umbrella to save Vibe Island, the Mario Brothers, and retrieve the magic vibrating scepter, or whatever it is. Having Mario and Luigi get captured is obviously where the game would naturally go, but I think it would have been pretty interesting if Princess Peach was still the one who got kidnapped, but she had to escape and fight herself. The gameplay is still the side-scrolling platformer that we all know and love from a Mario game, and a very pretty one at that. The color palette really stands out and pops for being on a smaller screen. It has a very cute aesthetic similar to Yoshi's Island. Peach, however, is a little more versatile than Mario. Apart from jumping and hitting blocks with her head, we have her aforementioned umbrella, Perry. But that just looks like a regular old umbrella. Perry the umbrella! That's not funny. This thing's got a lot of use to it. Peach can smack enemies with it, pick up items and enemies to throw, gently float down from a high platform, use it as a boat, and most importantly, it's an absolutely stunning fashion accessory. I mean, look at her, who wants to mess with a fashion icon like that? You can even spend coins in the shop to unlock new upgrades for it. However, one thing you may notice so far is that the game isn't very touch the screeny. So to change that and give Princess Peach more abilities, we have this. What's officially dubbed as Peach's Vibes are her 4 special abilities she can use depending on her vibe meter. Bro, this game came out in 2006, but it perfectly predicted the future about people talking non-stop about their vibes. Her vibes are Rage, Joy, Gloom, and Calm, all accompanied with really cute and charming animations to show off when you select them. You have all of them unlocked at the very start of the game and will need to use them accordingly to solve puzzles, unlock secrets, and defeat bosses. The Joy vibe makes Princess Peach feel so incredibly happy that she turns into a literal whirlwind tornado of joy, where she can tear through enemies as well as floating to reach new heights. The Rage vibe makes Peach so incredibly angry that she literally gets engulfed in flames, having the ability to light lamps and fuel hot air balloons, as well as stomping so furiously it shakes the ground and breaks platforms. Gloom makes Peach so incredibly sad, she literally cries you a river, using her powerful tears to grow plants to climb, put out fires, or anything else that requires a high pressure of water. And lastly, we have the Calm vibe. All it does is slowly refill your HP, one of the least used vibes in my playthrough. Each vibe also has its own theme song with an energy to match each mood. So, yeah, Princess Peach, the woman character's superpowers are her overactive emotions. Yeah, you know women, they always be angry and crying at the push of a button. No, I'm just playing around. Obviously, I don't think that, and obviously I don't think they did this on purpose or to be silly or malicious. It's just a dumb observation. Also, I guess it's a better debut ability than having Peach's first game be in Luigi's Mansion, where the princess would wield a vacuum cleaner. The abilities do add a lot of creativity and thinking to each level. You now have all kinds of different ways to explore the level and to find secrets. Although, personally, I kinda found it to be a little too busy. This is my only real complaint about the game, so I'm gonna get it out of the way now. Being the first game in the series means there's no established rules or gimmicks you'd be used to. Like, if a new Wario game comes out, I'm expecting to be able to shoulder tackle. For the first game in the series, I feel like they should have either focused on expanding the umbrella abilities or the vibes. Having both kind of makes the game feel cluttered and busy. The vibes are only ever used in specific situations, to either reach a bonus area, a secret, or to find an item. They're not really used often enough throughout your playthrough. To compare it to another game, it kind of reminds me of the super abilities in Kirby's Return to Dreamland, where they're only ever used or necessary in select areas and situations. Your umbrella is more than enough to handle most enemies and stages. However, when the vibes are used in boss battles mainly, like the first boss being a piranha plant you need to fill up with water to make it full, and then jump on its stomach, that's a really fun and creative fight. But maybe it's just because I'm stupid, but when I first battled it, I had no idea what to do. Mainly because, again, up until this point, the vibe power-ups were only used for optional routes and secrets. When I figured it out though, I was like, oh, okay, it's really cool now. But that's my only complaint. I wish the vibes played a more prominent role. The rest of the game though, I have no real issues. It's a very simple and enjoyable side-scroller. For Princess Peach's first game, they did a great job. It's loaded with charm, cute visuals, and fun DS gimmicks. Yeah, just like New Super Mario Bros., sometimes the mini games that let you touch the screen are the most enjoyable. Toad Jump is an auto runner where you need to make the Toad jump by blowing into the DS. It bombs away. Toad Tote. Use the stylus to guide Toad through a fiery hellscape without touching anything. And Toad Shot. Just touch the screen. You did it. I'm proud of you. There's also this Angry Birds section where you need to shoot Peach upwards to reach a boss. They should have released this on an iPhone, and we would live in a world where Angry Birds never existed, and we got the princess instead. That's all I really have to say. It's a solid side-scroller. Welcome to Happy 2022, the Three Little Princesses version 1.3 added improvements. This is actually the shortened down title, if you could believe it. So in this game, Mario and Luigi were once again kidnapped, but this time by these three lovely ladies. They look like some 4-Kids Saturday morning cartoon characters. And it's up to not only Princess Peach, but Daisy and Rosalina to work together to save the world. Toadsworth acts as your mentor and preps us for our journey, giving us the brand new iPhone 12 Pro Max. Nope. Yep, that's real. So he can contact us. He also gives us a actual credit card in case, and I quote, "you ladies go on a shopping spree." You know what? I gotta apologize to Super Princess Peach. This is the sexist game. I immediately love the presentation of the game. Having all three characters on screen at once really feels like an adventure you're going on with some friends. Unfortunately, Princess Daisy is the only one you get to control, while Peach and Rosalina are just AI that follow you. They can't get hurt or fall down pits, which is nice. They're just permanently attached to you. So yes, technically this is a Princess Daisy game, but Peach is here too, and come on, how could you say no to that face? The game is still being worked on though, so I could imagine that in the future you could cycle between the princesses, each of which having their own unique abilities, strengths, and weaknesses. You know, kind of like the Sonic heroes of Mario games. I don't know, I see a lot of potential with this idea. The game we do have though is still very fun. Once again, I love the colors that are used throughout the game. Very vibrant and chaotic in a nice way. It's my favorite. The Three Little Princesses is clearly more about world building. There's a lot more cutscenes involving characters and dialogues and motives. You know, there's this OC named Bloom who's a fairy from the planet Althea. Like, why not? I love it when creators throw in their own OCs in a game. Also, when you beat a stage, Daisy dabs, which is painful, but it's incredibly accurate. The boss battles are also really intense, man. I had to save state a bunch, I'm not ashamed to admit it. You're in this Mega Man style boss room and need to have some pretty quick reaction times to deal with these guys. The demo is fairly short, but still very promising in my opinion. Thumbs up. Or, you know, a dab, if that's what you want. There were a few more fan games I found, but they're fairly unremarkable. There's a really terrible platformer that plays like a Flash game from 2007, and then there's another game that's just collect all the coins in a level. The enemies don't hurt you. Oh, never mind, I'm just a jerk. I guess Nintendo also sent out their ninjas on the internet because I could find 0 Princess Peach Flash games. Like, geez man, I feel kind of bad. Are there really no Flash games about her? Man, Morton Koopa's looking pretty jacked. Oh man, and don't even get me started on Princess Peach. She's once again sporting a very, well, it's definitely a look. So we seem to be having a meeting with the Chancellor and oh my goodness, what the hell? Oh, nobody told me it was this kind of game. YouTube will definitely not allow this. Okay, you know what? Forget the past few minutes. And those were some Princess Peach games. As you can see, the library of games is fairly small, but still really solid. For all of you who create games out there, we gotta change that. More games! Although, I am pretty stoked on this new Princess Peach project. Again, at the time of making this video, there's 0 information on it, so I hope we're not let down. Until next time, I need to clear my search history.